6A, the answer advised that 175 carer households have been approved for long-term placements, but did not have a child placed with them for even a single day in the last financial year. That's almost 30% of all long-term carers. Are there any children at the moment in the care of the state that are awaiting a long-term placement?
Minister.
Member, I'm told it's a very dynamic system, so I'm just seeing if we have that latest up-to-date data. Is it about? So, member, can I just ask, did your question relate to carers who don't have children placed with them? You then want to know how many of those children are waiting for long-term placements. Is that correct?
Are there any children in the care of the state who are currently awaiting a long-term placement?
I'll ask Ms Daniels to answer that question.
So there is a care arrangement for every child who is in the care of the department. In terms of the dynamic nature that the Minister was referring to, children's needs change over time, and so there may be children who require a different kind of placement. So, for example, a child who enters care might be in an emergency care arrangement, but they are awaiting a longer-term care arrangement, or we might be waiting for a family care assessment to be completed. But every child does have a care arrangement.
Mate, I understand that, but I'm not asking whether they've got a care arrangement. I'm asking whether any are awaiting a long-term placement. Do you have a list of children at the moment out of the 5,200 that are currently awaiting a long-term placement?
Minister.
I remember, I'm not sure, we're just checking on the language that you're using versus the number of children. I might ask the Director General to provide some comments.
Thank you for the question. It is a tricky question to answer because of the dynamic nature of the system, and so it may well be that, for example, children in well-established placements, the placement breaks down and then we have to find them an alternative placement. So it kind of depends on almost the definition of what constitutes waiting for a long-term placement, because the vast majority of children are in quite settled arrangements, often with family or foster carers, and they've been in those placements for many years. But often, because children will come in at short notice, as Ms Samuels mentioned, they may have to be in a temporary care arrangement or an emergency care arrangement. We may be able to find them an arrangement with one of the community service providers that we employ for that purpose before we can find them a longer term arrangement. So it's very difficult to give a kind of an indication of how many children at any given time are waiting for a long-term placement. That is our goal. Any? To put them.
I'm just asking, are any? Everyone who needs a long-term placement's got one at the moment, and that partly explains why there's 175 care households who haven't had anyone placed with them for the last year.
Minister.
Surely not. I mean, it can't be this complicated.
So, member, can I just check? You're asking a question now about the households that do not have.
No, I'm still asking whether there's any child in the care of the state that's waiting a long-term placement. If the answer today is no, then let's move on from that. But it's up to the witnesses to confirm that there's not a child in the state at the moment who is waiting for a long-term placement. I can't believe that would be the case.
I remember every child has a care placement.
Yes, I know that. That's not the question.
I can't give a further response.
No. All right. So at the moment, the record reflects to the committee that there's not a child
that's not
in the care of the
what
state.
I said, member.
No, okay, so then there is a child in the care of the state.
Member, I don't have that data
well,
to hand.
Maybe take it on notice.
So the question is, member, can you clarify what the question is?
Are there any children in the care of the state currently awaiting a long-term placement?
That'll be supplementary question E1.